guys, it's Janice at Ozark Family Homestead, and I am out here on a February day. It is 67 degrees right now. It is windy. Yeah.
If it's raining a lot, I think it's gonna rain.
I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but it is windy. But it is warm too. So, okay, this video here, excuse the crazy hair, I wanted to come outside because it's so pretty. This is not the kind of video that I enjoy doing.
No.
But Frito's up here too. Yes, he is. He followed us up here, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, like I said, this is not the kind of video that I enjoy doing, but I think I need to do this because there is some clarification that needs to happen here. There was a considerable amount of drama last week that I did not foresee, but it was there. And we're just going to tackle some questions here. There was some very harsh words used in the comment section over my inventorying my pantries and my freezers in preparation for the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. So you guys blindsided me. I didn't see any of this stuff coming, but I think a lot of it was just because there's some confusion between my viewpoint and other people's viewpoints. So we are going to discuss that in this video. Here we go. It's a swampy mess now that the ice and snow have melted. Ducks are extremely happy. Rebekah is extremely happy too. You want to go on the trampoline? Okay, you can go on it.
Can you take my back to the carport?
Yeah, I'll take it back up there with me.
Thanks.
Okay, so I didn't mention, I have gone through, I jotted down quite a few of the comments that were on the videos, and it wasn't just the pantry freezer inventory video. You know, like I said, it trickled down to subsequent videos later on in the week. So there are some of the comments that I wanted to read to you guys and then clarify what my thoughts were, at least, in doing this. And I don't know if that will help or not. In some instances, I really don't think it's going to help. Some people have had to have been blocked. It just is what it is. But I think a lot of these things are not blockable comments. They're just, they need clarity comments. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. I did want to start with sharing with you guys what my vision of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge was and is, because I do think some of you see it differently than what I do. But my vision of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge was that it was a way of inventorying what you have, seeing what needs to be used up, either because it had been forgotten about, or you have too much of it, or just whatever the reason is, you have things that you need to go ahead and move out of your pantries and freezers. And the first thing I thought to do was to take an inventory, make a list of the things that I want to focus on, and then I start planning meals that use those things up. Now I'm going to say, based on some of the comments that I got, it appears that some people have a different idea of what that should be. It comes across as you think it's a way to get rid of all of the things in your pantry, and that was not my intent. So if you watched my video thinking my intent was to clear out my pantries and freezers, then we weren't on the same wavelength there in the video. So I have zero intent of clearing out my pantries and freezers. I know some of you think I should, but that's not going to happen, not in this family. And I'll go over my reasons for that, because I feel like I have very logical reasons for that. and I'm happy to share those with you, especially those of you that might be new to the channel and you don't understand why I have the quantity of food in this house that I do. So I just wanted to start off with my definition of the pantry challenge. You guys can have a different one for your own household, but when I made the video, that was my intent. What do I have? What do I want to get rid of? What are the changes that I want to implement moving forward? And then go from there. All right, so I have my little paper here with the comments and stuff that I have jotted down. And I thought I'm going to try to be organized about this, guys. The first one I thought I would touch on is basically the idea of why do you need so much food? So comments like, just how many turkeys do you really need? You probably only eat them at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that would be no. We actually, ideally, I would like to have a turkey once a month. Cook it up. The deal is, turkey is a very easy meal for us to do. Sometimes I will just do it on a rest day, because as long as I have planned ahead and thawed out that big old bird, I can just throw it in the oven mid-afternoon, and at supper time, we have a really good supper that I didn't have to spend a tremendous amount of time in the kitchen making it. So once a month, 12 turkeys a year would be my goal. And I don't know off the top of my head how many I have currently. It's less than 12, but I have some smaller ones. I would probably have to make 2 of those in order to get 2 days worth of food like I do currently whenever I make a turkey. But similarly, another comment was, we know you have a large family and such great care, but help us understand why you need to stockpile so much. For example, why do you need 3 boxes each with 2 packs of egg white wraps? So what she's referring to are the egg white wraps that I get from Sam's Club. And I purchased several boxes of those, and each box has 2 packages. Like if you were to go to Aldi and buy a package, the Sam's Club boxes have 2 of those in each box. And again, I'm not sure if this person is newer or what it is, but I get those from Sam's Club. And for us, Sam's Club is 2 hours away. So I'm doing good to go there once a month. And so when I go, I stock up on things like that. And I do know the most recent Sam's Club shopping trip that I did, those egg white wraps had a date, a best by date for the end of March. So not only am I buying a lot to get us through until the next time we can make the trip 2 hours away, but I'm also buying enough so that what I do get, we will use up before that best by date rolls around. So as long as I have room in the refrigerator, and as long as I have the money to buy that, and as long as we will use it up before the best by date, that's what I'm going to buy. And then there was just a slew of, with the same thing. You don't need to buy meat for 6 months. I think you could do at least a 1-year pantry challenge. You could feed a city with all that stuff in the freezers. You have plenty of chickens in the freezer. Why buy more? Okay, so that one, as far as the chickens, the whole chickens, guys, I'm pretty sure I had 7 whole chickens in the freezer. And if that seems like a lot to you, I make 2 chickens at a time when I do spatchcocked chicken. So that would be 3.5 meals of spatchcocked chicken for our family. And if we raise out chickens, we have 50 butchered at a time. So that freezer that had the 7 whole fryer chickens in it, that's nothing. So I know some of you think that's a whole bunch, but for a family of 9 with 7 children that have big appetites and work hard and play hard, that's nothing. So now there was boneless, skinless chicken breast in there. There was 1 package of chicken for on the grill, and there was 1 package of chicken wings for baking in the oven. To me, that's nothing. So I need you all to understand that I think a big part of this is that our perspectives are different. I'm feeding a lot more people than the average family. And what gets me though is that maybe I'm wrong here. I thought a lot of our viewers come to our channel because they enjoyed watching a family that lives differently than them. I've had people comment that. So that's really what my thought process was, is that a lot of you at least come here because we live way differently than you all do, and people liked seeing that. So that's part of the reason why I have all of this food. I don't know. It confused me. Like I said, I was a little blindsided. You could do at least a 1-year pantry challenge. No, I can't. I know it looks like a lot of food to you. And it is a lot of food, but I have a lot of people here too. And we do host quite often and all that too. So I don't know. It's just hard for me to understand, because my normal is my normal, and I guess your normal is your normal, and it's hard for me to relate to your normal just as much as I guess it's hard for you to relate to my normal. So that's why I have all that food in there, and I don't think it's 1 year's worth. I certainly don't think I could feed a city with it. So there is that. All right, in the summer kitchen now, noise in the background is the freeze dryer. I came in here because after I go through these next few comments, I want to show you guys something that's out here. The next set of comments had to do with being wasteful with food, buying so much stuff that it's just wasteful. So I had comments like, so wasteful to spend so much money on food and then feeding it to the animals, plus buying animal food. This is crazy. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't recall in my video talking about taking our family's food and feeding it to the animals. I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but I do not recollect saying that. And then, this is seriously too much food, as some is old, freezer burnt, and no good. And I mean, I'm gonna show you guys the oldest meat in my freezers. Here, let me grab it. That's why I brought you guys out here anyway. The oldest meat in my freezers is this cube steak. This cube steak has been in there for several years, and it is just as pink and preserved. I know I showed this on video because this is stuff on my list to go ahead and rotate through. And then I think beyond this, I think I have some deer meat from 2024 in there. So that would mean it would be a little over a year. It was probably, I'm gonna guess, November-ish of 2024, because that's typically deer season. So a little over a year old deer meat is in there. So I just don't understand where these comments are coming from. So I'm wanting to get this confusion, wherever it came up at, cleared out. There are people that can't buy groceries, and she is letting food go bad. Yes, it is a sin, she says. But again, I don't know what food I'm letting go bad. I don't recollect saying, oh no, this is bad, I need to throw that out. I would have grabbed it at that point from the freezer if it was bad and I needed to pitch it, whether to animals or just in the trash or whatever, and I don't recollect doing that. So, I don't know. I don't feel like there is a food acquisition issue here. It's a food management situation. I have not kept up on the management of things, the inventorying of things, but again,
Is this cow meat?
this is cow meat. Yes, it is.
I'm gonna make pack
You want to play Pac-Man? Well, hold on. Wait till I'm finished because it'll be noisy, okay? I'll be finished in just a minute.
Is the noise off?
I don't know if the noise is off. I won't be very much longer, okay? You're just going to see. She's just going to see. It's not being noisy. Oh, it just came on. She's getting here. Let's see. She's getting the chair set up. She's going to play Pac-Man over there. Oh, you guys. Oh, you making the noise go off? You got it? All right, baby. You can play it if the noise is off. Yeah. You're fine. So, okay, it's Pac-Man time. But yeah, this is where I was blindsided, guys, because I will freely admit, this is why I put in the video that, how did I put it? Sharing my food management faults, or I don't remember exactly, but I fully admit that things are not ideal here. That I even said I want things bundled up. I don't like things scattered about here and there. And that's why I'm doing this, is so that I can have all of the peppers in one spot and use up things like cube steak that has been sitting there for a while, and finding that deer meat from 2024, which is not bad. It's wrapped in freezer paper. So I don't know. I just don't get it. So I guess if you guys can kindly explain where you got this from, I would love to hear that kind explanation. But I'm just confused. Some have asked if we still have the guinea. There's the guinea there walking under the apple trees. So yep, it is still around, pretending to be a chicken or a duck. Okay, so this next comment section, I don't really know how to handle this one exactly, because I am really afraid some of you are not going to like this next part here, because I have gotten comments on those videos saying things like, your greed, gluttony, and gloating in the current cost of living crisis is totally disgusting. I dread to think how much food you waste, and you are a food hoarder. You need to seek help for the paranoia and insecurity you have. Your life revolves around food, chasing deals, comparing prices, making a meal plan, shuffling food around, and eating too much while your children get rations. That was harsh. That was rough. So I am being called a food hoarder. I've been told that I need to get help. So there's lots of things. Oh goodness, guys. There were lots of not nice things said, but I do think they need to be addressed. So in this part here, I've brought you into my laundry room where I have a big part of my pantry, and sharing with you guys why I really don't intend to decrease the overall amount of food that I have. There are lots of areas where I plan to increase the amount of food that I have. And I know a lot of you disagree with me, but the reason that I do this is not a food hoarding situation. No, I do not have childhood trauma. I had lots of things thrown at me. Guys, this is a money management thing for me with a large family. I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't just run into town. It's not a 5 or 10 minute drive to town to pick up something when I'm out of it. I am running my large family like I would a business. There is a difference between a smaller family and a larger family. You would never go, let's say, to your little local grocery store and complain that they have 20 flats of green beans on the shelf. You would make the argument, well, you're not going to sell 20 flats of green beans. You might sell 2 flats today. Therefore, you have too much. No, a grocery store runs on a first in, first out rotation of food, which is the same thing I do here in my home. It is a first in, first out rotation. So when new food comes in with a later best by date, it gets put in the back of the rotation. So the older stuff is used up first, and the newer stuff goes in the back. We go through a lot more than a typical family would. And so the management system for that is different. And I just really hope I am conveying that to you guys, because I feel like that is a large part of the miscommunication and stuff here that I got to see in the comments. I just don't think we are on the same wavelength on things. And here, let me flip the camera around. I'm going to show you an example of what I intend to change. Okay, so, and I've shown this before, but right now I have, let's see, the pasta, egg noodles, rotini, penne, elbow macaroni, lasagna, and, okay, whole grain penne up here, and then whole grain spaghetti up there at the tip top. So I have a lot of variety of noodles there. I intend to use up these things that I don't intend to restock. I intend to only keep the whole grain egg noodles and whole grain penne and whole grain spaghetti. And yes, my children like it. I did have one person comment, "I can't believe you're switching over to whole grain. Will your children even eat that?" Yes, my children will eat that. And it is healthier for them too. So I like the ingredients better in the whole grain than I do in the white flour pasta. So these things here, which are not out of date, are going to be used up. And once they're used up, I am not resupplying them. But what I am going to do, because I will have empty space here, I am going to keep more of some things in stock. I intend to keep more chicken broth in stock than I currently do. I intend to keep more shelf-stable hash browns on hand than I currently do. I intend to keep more of the whole grain penne and the whole grain spaghetti noodles on hand than I currently do, because that is what my family will be using. This is what makes sense for my family that live very rurally, that have 7 children with big appetites. Every family's different. This is what makes sense for my family. Okay, this next one here should be short and sweet. And again, I don't know where this came from, but comments, and again, there were several variations with the same theme. Said the family shouldn't be denied beef because you can't have it. I don't understand why you have to stop cooking beef. And again, I don't recollect anywhere in the video where I would have conveyed that in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I have roasts, I have steaks, I have ground beef and ground deer meat, and my family eats them. I don't know where that idea came from. Now, I will say it is more convenient to cook one meal that our entire family of 9 can eat, instead of putting in the extra time and effort to make, either substitutions or separate meals altogether. That's definitely easier, but I'm still planning to keep beef. We still are growing out sheep, and we intend to still harvest some of our own sheep, and the family will eat it and they will enjoy it. And they still intend to go deer hunting and enjoy it. So again, I don't know where this came from, but yes, the whole family is still consuming red meat. I am not at this point. I have not given up hope that sometime in the future I will be able to again. I am a glass half full person, but right now they still have it. They're having it for supper tonight. That's our reality right now. And I just wanted to make sure to just point blank clarify that. I have meat here. I will purchase more beef once I get my my meat rotation back up to where it should be. I will continue adding meat when it is on sale and using up the oldest first and resupplying with new fresh stuff at the same time. Okay, and then this one here, again, common theme, but this quote was about specifically buying avocados, but the same thing was said about rotisserie chicken and chuck roast too. For the avocados, you buy 30, and another shopper wanting just one avocado has none because you bought 30. See, this one just kind of gets to me because, well, first and foremost, when I bought 30 avocados, there were boxes upon boxes left there. I did not take the last avocado and leave the town of Poplar Bluff with no avocado at Aldi to spare. There were more. But I think this has an even bigger, further reaching aspect of it there. So basically the generalization on there was, Janice, you're taking all of the chuck roast, Janice, you're taking all of the chicken, you're taking all the avocados, and you're not leaving anything for anybody else, which is so far from the truth. So not only are there plenty of things there, like for instance, when Tin Box has their ground beef or their chuck roast or their steaks on sale, I typically go in and buy 1 tube of ground beef or 1 package of steaks. And the deal is, when I do that each time when that sale rolls around, I end up with a hefty stockpile of very good food, and I'm buying one at a time on things like that. The other aspect of this is, let's just say in times like COVID, I was not in the grocery store fighting over toilet paper. I already had my stock of items put in place when times were good. So other people that needed it at that point were free to get it. I was set. My family was set. We were good. This last ice storm that came through, and the stores, were 80% cleared of bread products and all that stuff, I was not in there buying all of the bread and the eggs and milk and all that stuff. My family already has the stockpile in place. I went to town that week, and you can look back on my grocery haul video from that week preparing for the snowstorm. I bought fresh produce, and I think I bought some frozen chicken nuggets and french fries because the kids wanted a, hey, we're snowed in treat. So this accusation is so unfounded, and I don't know what the basis of it is, but I mean, actually the opposite is true. By me shopping the way that I do, I can leave things there when others need it in their most vulnerable situations. I am buying during the good times and maintaining a very well-stocked pantry for my family. And for those of you wondering about Daisy, there's our girl. She is way up here eating with Bandit. Just to give you some perspective, over there is the cow shed, and that's where she was down for 24 days. So she gets up, she walks around, she has walked all the way past the greenhouse and up here. She walks out in the paddocks and hangs out with the sheep. She is gaining some weight now. She is stronger, and she is doing just amazing. And a bunch of mamas up here eating some hay. If we look back here in the back, there's the 2 little twins. Those are our smallest little lambs. Bouncy bounce. They are cuties. Oh, and there comes the singleton there. Right now we still just have the 3 lambs, the bigger singleton and the smaller twins. But again, we do still have some mamas that look as if they are still going to give some lambs. Hi, sweeties. Hey, babies. Look at you. Look at you, sweetness. Oh, Mama says, get away from the lady with the camera. Oh, they're bumping Mom. That's what they do to let her know that we want some milk. It looks pretty rough, but Mom's good with it. She's a good mama. Okay, so we are going to wrap this up with just a short and sweet synopsis of the way my food acquisition system works and how my food management system is supposed to work. And then we will finish up talking some not so nice aspects of YouTube channel content creation. Okay, yeah, stumble over those words, Janice. Okay, short and sweet here. The way my system works is I study the sale ads, I look for the best of the best deals, I go to the store, and I purchase them. Like I said earlier, typically 1 tube of ground beef, 1 package of steak, just whatever the sale is. If it is a pantry shelf-stable item, I may buy more to fill out my pantry for the stockpile that I want to keep in the rotation. And I do that week by week. And I may not utilize that item for weeks or months, but as long as it is preserved, wrapped in freezer paper, you know, marked with a Sharpie as far as the best by date goes, then it goes into the rotation. Like I said, first in, first out, and that is how the system works. That's how I acquire the food and how I can feed our family for $133 per person per month and eat very well. A mostly whole foods diet, including things like steak and, I mean, good stuff, good stuff. But that's how I acquire the food. And then as far as managing it, this is where the system started to fall apart. This is why I'm doing the pantry challenge, is I need to keep like with like. So all of my frozen bell peppers need to be together, not scattered out amongst different freezers, and all of the beef roast in one spot, all of the steaks in one spot, all of the chicken in one spot, all of the fish in one spot. And those are the aspects where I have not kept up with it due to just life. I mean, just life happens. I have a lot of plates spinning, and I know you guys know this, but this is what gave. This is what I didn't keep up with. I did not keep up with the management size of it. So that is the way the system is supposed to work. And at the end of this pantry challenge, I hope to not have a significantly smaller stockpile. Maybe somewhat, but not a crazy amount smaller. But I do hope to have a very much more streamlined, neat and tidy and organized. All those things make me so happy to have that as part of my stockpile. Show-offs. Okay, back here or up here in the summer kitchen, because this is where we're going to talk about the harder stuff here. So I will say, let me just do this last comment that I wrote down, because I think it is a valid comment, but I do want to address it as well. So this person says, part of the life of being a vlogger. Did she really think that she wasn't going to get some criticism? Yes, she can do what she wants, but others are entitled to their opinions since she exposed it to the public. And I think that's a common thing. We've gotten that comment multiple times under different, circumstances. And yes, whenever you put your family out there, I try to be transparent. I try to be real. People are going to give their opinions. That's the reality of the situation. So no, I'm not surprised. There definitely was a learning curve with doing YouTube, but no, I'm not surprised at that. I do think, like I've mentioned, I think a lot of the substantial part of the comments, a lot of it was just either a different way of life. We don't live the same way, so it's hard for those viewers to grasp what it's like to have a large family, to live very rural, and we've been into emergency preparedness for a long time. That's why we moved to where we did, was after the ice storm of 2009. Emergency preparedness is one of our family priorities. So, but obviously I know everyone else doesn't do that, and that's fine. So those comments that are just, they're either made out of, I choose differently than you. That's okay. I have no problem with you all having different priorities than our family, making different life choices than our family. I have no problem with that. Now, when we get into, there's a different category of very negative, very rude. I did have to block some people. And again, it's not for the ones that disagreed with me. It's for the ones that if you started throwing around terms like hoarder, mental illness, and things like that, more likely than not, you are blocked. And that is because I will never understand how you can throw around accusations like mental illness so casually. I just don't think that's something you throw around casually. I would be extremely upset if I heard my children speaking that way to someone else. It's just, I don't think it's something that should be done. Even if it's done with love, you can put all of the little disclaimers on there. It is still, that's too much. That is a healthy boundary that I have in place, that I'm not going to allow that type of toxicity thrown out there towards me, my family, our channel, anything like that. That is my healthy boundary. So if you did that, my choice was to block you from future comments. What I would really like to say though is, if you are one of those people that are throwing out those very harsh, condescending, negative, judgmental things, to think about what you are saying and doing. I tell my children, you can convey the same message that you want to convey, but you can do it with different words and you can do it with a different tone. It will be so much more well received if you are choosing your words and your tone with love instead of a negative emotion. And I just really, guys, I really, really hope that you are not speaking that way towards people in your real life. Your family members, your friends, your neighbors, whoever it is. I hope you are not using the words that you used in the comments of last week's multiple videos. I hope you are not using those in real life situations, because I do not know how you could not have strained, stressed relationships if you are conveying those things with love to the people around you. My sister, my best friend, the people that I'm closest to in the whole wide world, I would never speak that way to them, even if I felt like it was for their own good. I just think there's a better way. And I'm gonna ask that you just do some self-reflection. And if you were genuinely concerned about my mental well-being and all of that, that you would think about your words and your tone and how things come across. Because I think a lot of what came through last week was confusion, but there was some very unhealthy things in there too. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I don't know, I feel like it was kind of a downer video, but I I feel like this was a good thing. I feel like it was something that just needed to be addressed, and I hope we can just move onward and upward at this point. I have been filming areas where I am using up the things that that I had in my list whenever I took the inventory. I've been using some of those things up. I've been filming those foods as they're getting used up, and I am hoping to put together a video here in the next week or two showing check, 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 this is gone, 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 and then reorganizing everything so that it is streamlined, so we can kind of have a before and an after. That's my intent, at least. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please do a thumbs up because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Double check that you are subscribed if you intend to be. I just had a comment that I saw today from someone that said, I never, how did she put it? Something like, I had not experienced being unsubscribed before, but I just went and checked. I know I was subscribed, and boop, I was not, so I had to resubscribe. It happens. It happens quite often, at least from the comments that I see. So just double check. You may not be subscribed and you intend to be. Leave me a comment. Leave me a kind. Janice loves kind comments. Leave a kind comment, guys. I want this to be a community where we can all support each other and learn from each other and grow together and tackle those projects with transparency so that my house is run better, my family is better taken care of, my relationships are better. I just want to continue growing, and I want us all to be a supportive system for each other. Maybe that's too idealistic. I don't know. I don't care. I still want good things for you. I want good things for me. And I think we can do that if we work together, guys. So if you could do those things and then share our family's channel, tell them about Ozark Family Homestead, and that is how our channel grows best. So I appreciate you guys. I love you all, and I want good things for you. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Ozark.